Hi AP Lang students, my name is Mrs. Nance and I will be your teacher for AP Lang this year. And I'm broadcasting to you today from an empty classroom. This is not our classroom, so it's kind of weird to see myself with a white wall behind me, but I'll be in my classroom soon enough and eager to greet you. And again, wanted to make a video to kind of talk about the class a little bit and also for you to just see what I look like without my mask on. And I know this is primarily how we'll be communicating with our masks on. So I'm excited to meet you without your mask on in this little video opportunity I have for you today. And if you do the other option, then I will see your face online, I'm sure, at some point throughout this semester or school year. So welcome to AP Lang. Today's task is just to get, again, a quick overview and then that first assignment. And I'll give you a kind of a model so you kind of know what to do. So for our class, let's kind of get started here. I have two sections. I have a 1A section and a 1B section. So I'll just click into 1A. I know they're the same, so it might look a little different based on your section, but just with the picture, I think. I am going to organize Schoology by week. I used to organize it by unit of study, but I think given that a lot of your time is going to be spent being remote, that it might be easiest for us all to keep it straight by the week that we're working on. So we only have 1 week that I have going right now. And so when you're ready, you'll go ahead and click into that folder. Here's the syllabus. If you want to peek at it before I give it to you in person later this week, you could, I guess, go ahead and print it and at least the last page and have your parents sign it and turn it in. It's long and we're not going to go over everything in class. We'll just go over some basic stuff and get your parents to quickly sign it when we do our little phase-in week later this week. Your assignment is to introduce yourself. That's it. You can do it one of two ways. If you want me to see your face without a mask on, I would super love that. And I would love to encourage you to use Flipgrid to introduce yourself if you would like to do this option. Again, you're going to do one of the two. You don't have to do both unless you really want to. Flipgrid is awesome, and I would do it on my phone or on a device that has a camera and a recorder. And once you click that link, you're already there. You can click the arrow out if you need to, if your computer needs you to do that. And I just want you to talk about, like, what class you're coming from. It says school you're coming from. That was because I have a group of freshmen. So forget school you're coming from unless you are from a new school, but more like what class are you coming from? Why are you taking this course? And then something fun, like, your favorite food that you would eat forever, your first concert, your favorite concert. And then there's some more serious questions in here too, like, in addition to reading and writing what we have to this year for English, what do you want to talk about in AP English this year? This is a great class for discussion. And we are gearing up to take an AP test that has, and we start day one, getting ready for the AP test, 3 essays. And very recently, the essay topics have been very charged. And I say that in a political way or a way that, the questions ask you about current events, in other words. But I realize that not all of the things that are going on in the world are important to just you. And so I really would love to know what you're interested in talking about. It could be race, it could be politics, it could be current events, but it could also be some things that are kind of maybe not in the limelight of the news right now: gender, religion, education, anything that you think you want to talk about. I'm open to suggestions, and I want to hear from you, and I want to hear what you're interested in talking about. That's good planning for me. What's your favorite form of social media? What do you do in your spare time? What kind of activities are you into? Sports, etc. What's your family look like? And what are you excited and nervous about for this school year? Because I know we all have a lot of anxiety coming into this year for different reasons. I certainly do. And we're just going to get through it together. So if I were to introduce myself on my Flipgrid, I would scroll down here to record a response, and then I just start talking. And so my name is Sarah Nance, and I have been teaching at Eagle Crest for 11 years. This is my 6th year, I believe, or 7th teaching AP Lang. And so it's definitely something I'm used to. And I also teach freshmen. I've coached volleyball before. I was a college volleyball player at Colorado Mesa in the 2000s. I am married to a social studies teacher. He actually used to teach here a couple years ago, but he works at Cherry Creek High School now. And we have 2 little kids. We have Jane, who's 2.5, And I also have an 8-month-old son named Sam, or Sammy is what we call him. So I'm very busy. I'm actually teaching part-time this year. So I teach in the mornings and then I go home in the afternoons. So the way that you'll want to get in touch with me is through email or when we have office hours on Mondays. Well, more about that later this week. Who do I care about in the world or in my life? I'll start there, I guess. Obviously my children, but I also have an identical twin sister I'm very, very close to. And her daughter is only 8 weeks older than my little boy Sam, so they get to be buddies. My favorite social media platform would probably be Facebook, and that's only because it was the first one besides MySpace. In the mid-2000s when I was just going to college and it was like all the rage, and so I'm very loyal to that one. And then probably Instagram, but I don't have Snapchat, I don't have Twitter, and I've only maybe seen 1 or 2 TikTok videos. Hilarious, but not really my scene. I'm really excited for this year. I feel like a first-year teacher because I'm having to kind of do remote stuff and in-person stuff, and that's going to be new for every teacher. I'm nervous about that. I think it would be obtuse for me not to say that I'm nervous about getting sick. I am really close with my mom. She watches my kids, and so I obviously don't want to give it to her. I don't want to give it to my children either. And my own daughter's going to a little preschool this year, so I'm nervous about that. And so there's a lot of things that I'm nervous about, and I'm excited about it. It's a good nervous, but I just want you to know that I'm walking that path with you too if you're feeling anxiety. I also get nervous about conversations we have at school. I want to honor everybody's voice and I want to talk about difficult things, but that does come with some nerves because we kind of have to get to know each other. You're in luck because you're going to be in a class with 15 to 20 people because of how we're split up, that we're really going to get to know each other in our classes, our in-person classes, and that's a wonderful thing that I sometimes don't have the opportunity to do when I have a class of 34 AP students and I've got all these essays to grade. And so having you split up into 2 different groups, I think is going to allow all of us to be really close, and I'm looking really forward to that. Okay, so that's my example. Of course, I didn't get through every question, but you don't have to either. Just you're actually only limited to 1:30. So pick a couple that you would like to share, and that can be how you submit, and you can meet your other classmates ahead of time, and I get to see your face without a mask on. Okay, so going back, that is one option. If you're not comfortable making a video or you find that you're running out of time and it's taking too much time for you to record one, there's a Google form, and it asks basically the same questions. And so you would just fill that out instead. So again, why did you decide to take this class? If you could eat any food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Or what was your first and favorite concert? What topics do you want to talk about? That kind of more interesting one. And yeah, just some questions to go through. You could do both. They're slightly different if you really want to, but don't feel that pressure. Okay, so that's all I have for you as far as this first day remote assignment, getting kind of used to the class. Of course, I'm going to use Schoology. And just to give you a preview, AP Lang is the art of argument, and so we don't read fiction texts. I know you're coming from 10th grade where you read Gatsby or Huck Finn and Macbeth, and those are all very fiction texts, So AP Lang is different in that it's all nonfiction. It's articles, it's speeches, letters, written and spoken by real people in the world. And then our task is to write about how are they being persuasive? How are they convincing us of their purpose? And so we'll practice with some op-eds. Here in the first few weeks, we'll do some visual text analysis. I want you to think about that everything that you read is an argument. Everything is making an argument. And our task as thinkers is to identify that argument and discuss how the speaker or writer is convincing. And that's what your essays will be consisting of in some respect. There's a multiple choice aspect to our test that we'll get ready for. And then of course we're also balancing your testing, ACT, SAT, who knows what that's gonna look like this year, but I wanna try to prepare you as best I can, okay? So that is the 20-second rundown of a years-long course as far as what to expect in AP Lang, and we'll get into that a little bit more this week. There's a textbook requirement, so make sure you have your textbook. We use that quite a bit. And a notebook. I'll need you to have a notebook for my class because we do a lot of writing, a lot of drafting, and a lot of note-taking in your notebook. So bring those things when eventually, but again, you can kind of wait for that until we get more clarity when we're in person together. I so look forward to meeting you. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's already nice to meet you, and I'll see you in a day or two. Thanks. Bye, guys.